Listen, I have an idea.
It's how I feel when you make lemonade. Whatever today has given you. 511 headaches, still call it Thanksgiving. True.
Welcome to another edition of the Supa Dupa podcast. I'm your host, Rob Griggs, here with the super producer and the fashionista, Ez McMahon.
Yes, that's a lie. I got on a t-shirt and some jeans.
No, you were like, well, I'm using the camera as my mirror. Let me check.
No, that's because I just, I had some dinner. I had some barbecue sauce, man. I want to make sure, it wasn't barbecue sauce all over my face, man. That's not good.
Dinner must have been busted.
Nobody want to see that. It's Hurls, baby. Well, I said barbecue sauce. I should have said mild sauce. Excuse me.
Oh yeah,
I was talking to the people around the globe. They don't know about mild sauce.
Gotcha. It sure don't, and you should, man. I ain't been to Harold's in a minute. Ever since they closed my one, so I had two. The first one was on 71st Street. They closed out, and then the one that was on 93rd and Ashland. And they got a new management. I went there, my chicken was fried.
No good.
I ain't been back. Can't do it. I'm scarred, bro.
Oh, no bueno.
Nah, man. Bueno. But thank you for checking out the Supa Dupa Pie. Clearly, we love Harris. We do not take your listens lightly. Make sure you follow us on all socials. What up, Sarah? At SUPADUPAPOD. And that's on Instagram. That's on Blue Sky. That's, I think, on the TikTok. It's still, I guess
still there.
TikTok is, I think it's still holding on, man. It's still holding on. Shout out to President Musk. And then also, you can check us out online at hp53productions.com.
That's real, man.
Well, okay, I'm just gonna put it out there, guys. We're fixing our merch page. Shout out to the Brunch Besties for your patience. And but we're gonna make sure, like, in about a couple weeks, we'll have a better announcement about our new merch. Get some stuff going on. So hold on for that. Really appreciate you guys. But also at hp53productions.com, you can check out additional content such as the Father Good podcast. And I'm on Ez McMahon with the Easy Smoke and GM podcast. You guys record this week?
We did. We have not recorded. I think we're gonna record coming up this weekend. But
okay.
A lot of sports stuff going on this week.
So okay, let me. We're gonna get right. I know the one you want to talk about.
Take time.
We're gonna get to the church announcements because I'm gonna go ahead and let you get your runway, brother. All so, right. But thank you for checking out the Supa Dupa Pod. We do not take your listens lightly. So, as the first thing on the agenda is, so every week, we got to talk about sports, and we come around this time of the season, and I tease my brother is about hating the NBA and his love for NFL. He loves it. It's strong. He's like, Rob, it's boring. It sucks. Right, I'm watching it. And we talked about it, right? Watch the All-Star game. And as a good friend, he watched the All-Star game. I watched the All-Star game. And all I could think about was, I got to record with this N-word next this week. And all he go talk about is how right he was. Because that game, gotta say is horrible. I mean, here's the thing. I think what they were trying to do, I understood it.
I give Adam Silver and the NBA a lot of props. They knew that last year was just an awful product they gave to the fans, and they said, you know what, we got to do something to fix this thing. So they tried. I give them that. They gave the All-American try there. It was just terrible.
But here's the thing. I feel like, again, and I admire Kevin Hart. I really do. But I feel like it was a bit much, right? And I think all the stoppages were...
That's what... I was talking just about the games.
Yeah.
Talking about just about the game. Now, the rest of it, I put that on TNT.
Yeah.
And I know they initially signed up for a 3-hour block, not including the pregame show, but they had to fill 3 hours of programming, right?
Yeah.
But... I guess how much of the actual games, how much time it took for just the games? Just
probably 20 minutes.
It was 38 minutes of game.
That's crazy.
For a 3-hour block.
Because I figured too, like when they said up to 40, I was like, man, they scored 40 in a quarter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like I figured maybe if the games were even to like 80, right? That would have been more game. And it's like a guy like Cade Cunningham. Got 5 minutes. Now I will say too, I've been hearing a lot of podcasts like the rookies shouldn't have been allowed to play on Sunday, and I agree with that.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
And Draymond talked about that
Yeah.
during the game. I think they were right about that. Here's the deal, but a lot of people don't realize Friday night was the Rising Stars game.
Yeah.
There were 3 Rising Stars teams, and there was a team from the G League, the G League All-Star team, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The G League All-Star team came close to winning that game.
Wow.
We would have had G League All-Stars in the All-Star game.
On us, that would have been just
on
ridiculous.
Sunday. That's
on
a problem.
Sunday. Yeah, that can never happen. That can never be an option. Yeah.
That can't happen. Let alone and even the Rising Stars. You got Rising Stars in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
That's an issue. If you're going to do this format, just put enough All-Stars in from the NBA to, to make it enough to play the 4 games, however many games it was. 4. It was 3 games.
3 games, yeah. The 2.
You needed 4 teams.
Yeah. But and I'm with you. I mean, I think to your point, like, because you got to have what? So it was because they needed 30. What's the math? 32 players. Was that it? Is that the math? There's 8 people on the team, right? 32 players, right? Yeah. So you just extended 16 man roster. You got it. There you go.
Right.
Got 4 teams right there.
You could have done that.
That's easy fix. But again, I feel like they make the games to 80, even 100, right? But if you do that, you might as well keep the regular All-Star game because now you have that's 300 points being scored.
That's the question. If you're going to keep doing this, just do the regular game.
Yeah.
And if it is what it is, that's it. You're just going to get bad ratings, and then nobody's going to want to broadcast your game.
I feel like they should.
That's what it's going to be.
I think
because what else are you going to do?
They should alternate it. Like it should be, again. We spitballing, but like one year should be East versus West, right? One year should be the pickup thing, and then one year should be USA versus the world, and then it's back to East versus. You know what I'm saying? If you're just trying to give people a different look, I'm cool with East versus West all the time, but I will say it was cool those couple of years when it's like, oh wow, these guys. When certain guys are playing on the same team, like they never, like when the '92 Dream Team, Magic and Jordan would there was never going to be a chance. Like even Bird and Jordan got to play together, right? Barkley and Jordan, because on their East All-Star team,
right.
And of course there were a lot of trades back then, so people you was on the East, and so it was cool to see them play together in the Olympics. So I guess we have the Olympics to do that. I guess kind of debunks that myth, but still, I like that pickup thing. It just changes the pace, but I think the game itself should always remain. Those stoppages, and I hear you. That's a TNT thing. Those stoppages were ridiculous, and I was like cringing, man. It was like, can we get back to the game?
The $100,000 shot thing was cool.
That was cool. That was cool.
I'll give them that. All right.
Yeah.
But then you had the TNT thank you, which basically they were just patting themselves on the back.
Yeah, it was odd. It's like, ain't y'all got picked up by ESPN? Y'all all right?
Right. They're coming back.
What we saying goodbye for?
Now they're not gonna be doing the All-Star game anymore.
Okay.
But the Inside the NBA show is gonna be on ESPN.
But I mean, it's like,
and they have a whole half of the rest of the season to do their goodbye.
Yeah, which they gonna do. So it was like, this is a bit premature.
They had to do that.
I'm Googling like, did I miss something? I read this stuff all the time. I clearly missed something, man.
You had the whole, Kevin Hart did some stuff.
Yeah.
The the musical performances were okay. I will say this. I love Too Short. Too Short is one of the greatest rappers in the history of hip hop. But I'm wondering from his point, because I saw a bunch of clips of him all over the Bay Area.
Yeah.
All-Star weekend, and the only song he was doing was Blow the Whistle.
Hey man,
I wonder if by the final time I was like, God damn, I'm tired of doing this song.
Nah, that check was ringing, dog.
It's not like Too Short's a one-hit wonder. Too Short's got a ridiculous catalog.
But
he could have done something. I mean, come on, man.
Let's keep it that wow. What other songs can he do in public?
Well, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. All he got is Blow the Whistle.
Yes.
I mean, that's big enough to be celebrated. People are dancing to everything else. Well,
it's a lot of raunch.
It's the whole song.
It's
Too Short, everybody. Sure. That's the whole song. Whole performance, dog. What was hilarious was LiAngelo Ball. Did you see LiAngelo Ball perform? Was it Friday?
Yeah,
Or
he
was it early in the
the
day?
Rise of Stars. Yeah, he did the Rise of Stars game.
Yeah. And I was just like, it was looking like the BET Awards, bro. The NBA All-Star Weekend. So here's my thought is I'm thinking about this because I really think this is a thing about the All-Star Weekend versus Super Bowl. So follow me for a second, and of course you'll let me know if you agree or disagree.
All right.
So All-Star Weekend used to be considered, I think Bill Simmons called it the Black Super Bowl weekend, right?
Yes.
Because before Super Bowl was quote unquote America's game, but it wasn't like the Black cultural game, right? They know the Black players. It was like God bless America, all this patriotic stuff, right? The performers were like country stars or like super uber big people who transcended race, right? So it was a weekend for the masses.
Right.
But All-Star Weekend was a weekend for Black people, right? It was where you saw all the celebrities, right? They would all be around the court. I mean, All-Star Weekend, no matter the city, was always crazy, especially it was. I think Vegas might have been a tipping point. If we look back at it, that might have been the one that like pushed it over. But it was always celebrities, because again, the Super Bowl was usually always a week before, a couple weeks before, and it's like, okay, y'all had y'all fun. We weren't invited. This wasn't for us. This is for us on a similar grand scale. But now, football is now becoming a game that is accepting our culture. Example A is Kendrick Lamar and his whole performance, right? And so you think about it, because before it was like, we probably never gonna get a chance to perform at the Super Bowl. So everybody was performing at the BET, like it's called BET Awards.
Call it the NBA All-Star Game, the BET Awards.
But performing at the All-Star Game, am I wrong so far though? See what I'm saying? It's
no.
Get your shine, get your national TV coverage, and again, are the corporate sponsors around the weekend? Still is happening, but I mean, that's what made it a big deal to do. But now football is not just taking the NBA's day. It's not just supplanting it in viewership and whatnot. It's also to a degree taking some of the culture that made the NBA, that makes the NBA, and kind of using it, sprinkling on their game, right? And so then it becomes, you got this big cultural moment for us at Super Bowl weekend, that All-Star feels like a letdown almost, right? Because it's like, well, I made a shot I could perform at Super Bowl. We can go to Super Bowl. We all the Super Bowl and doing this is blackity black there. And the All-Star game, I mean, I guess if I can go, I might go. Because think about it. Remember the BET Awards when it first happened? Everybody was there. Everybody was getting their awards. It was crazy. Then after a while, Jay-Z wasn't coming. Beyonce wasn't coming. They winning awards. It's like, yeah, the 8th award to Beyonce. But
we're going to accept this on their behalf.
But they were showing up at the MTV Awards. They were showing up at the Grammys because it was like, well, we have, in a weird way, graduated to something else. I mean, that's not even, it's not a knock or shade. This is facts. This is what happened.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, the Super Bowl and the All-Star game used to showcase the two Americas. Like, y'all have your fun. We're gonna have our fun next weekend, right? This is what this is going to be. And now I feel like the NFL is more inclusive to our culture.
Well, even the entire weekend itself. I remember when, we were hearing in December, people were getting ready to go to All-Star Weekend.
Absolutely. It was a whole thing.
You would hear, we're going All-Star Weekend. We're going All-Star Weekend.
Man, people know 2 years out. Like, it's in Social City, we going.
It's gonna be here. It's gonna be in Cleveland. We going to Cleveland. Now, we're a little older now.
Yes,
but I don't hear that.
No.
That,
but also, but again,
push to go anymore.
And I think maybe it was on the Good Word, Vinny Goodwill, but it was like, it's so corporatized now as well. It used to be like it was almost like Freaknik for the NBA, right? It was like it was our thing, even though of course the NBA is a big corporation. It was like, you know what? This was self-made fun. Like, we out about in the streets, and everybody flooding the city, shutting it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, traffic can't get through, but this is what it's supposed to be. And now it's like so many corporate events that people can't even really get into. Folks getting priced out, right? It's like you can't even get to the game. We were able to go to the rookie All-Star to see Zion, right, in the box seats.
Right.
That was 5 years ago. Is that something we could do now? I don't know. And so,
no, wait. You went to the real game though.
I did go to the real game. I mean, we
Don't
were
come on,
talking, you know.
come
I
on, man.
ain't want to flex on them, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
you took me to the Rising Stars game. Man. You say, all right, I'll holler at you.
Hey man, no, remember even that night I was like, I gotta go to this corporate party, bro. I see y'all, man. Hey, it's been a blast. It's been a great time. Glad we're friends. Y'all was like,
I got it. I was
on.
I was just happy to be in the building that night. That's all. I was all good.
Yeah, man. That's hilarious. No, man, but I think that's some of it. I mean, what did you agree, disagree? Like, what you think?
No, I think you got something there, man. That's real. That's real.
Because I'm saying, because I mean, again, because the Super Bowl is like, okay, it's like when you watch, when you're watching a show that's like say Friends, for example. You watch Friends versus watch Living Single. Like, yeah, you okay, you get Friends, it's fun, but Living Single is like that. Now that's for me, and that's how it used to feel. And now it's like your Friends had a couple of black characters that were actually pretty funny. It was like, you know what, your Friends, like they do, you know what I'm saying? And
then Living Single gets canceled.
There you go. Or they start jumping the shark on Living Single, like Theo Huxtable all of a sudden is on Living Single, like as Theo Huxtable, like Michael Jamal. I live up the street. Wait, what? Nah, what? Man. Well, what are we doing? Yeah, I think the All-Star game like the BET Awards now, bro.
The NBA they got to do something, man. They got to do something. The entire weekend.
But also too though, it might be the deal where, because how sometimes you can hold on to something forever. Like that's just how I've always been. Like that outcast line, nothing is forever, nothing is for certain, right? It's like, but until they close the curtain, right? It's like that's just how I think about things. Nothing lasts forever, which is why you got to enjoy it. So maybe like we're holding on to this, antiquated thought of what it should be, like because I listened to Pod the other day. It was like, you got to think about the All-Star weekend even for the players. Again, before I don't think it was all this shiny glitz. It was just like everybody. This is the All-Star weekend. You get in town this night. We got the dunk contest, right? And it was just a dunk contest on Saturday night, and then the game Sunday. So when people got there Thursday, everybody just hanging out. It feels like a vacation. Okay, we had to dunk contest, boom, boom, boom. So Sunday, for the most part, okay, they've been kicking it, but they ain't wore out. These guys got corporate commitments when they touch down all night, all day, on top of still trying to party, hang, see their friends, and they got to play a game on Sunday.
And then they just out of it.
Out of it. So it's like, look, man, let's get through it. Put some shots up.
What if have you seen what the NHL did this year for their All-Star?
No, what happened?
They created this tournament, the four nations tournament.
Mm-hmm. So that's what this is?
Yeah, it's their All-Star. Yeah, so they took a break. And it's just basically their All-Star week. It's been all well, they come back the Hawks play Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
So it's their first game in almost 2 weeks.
Oh,
wow. But basically they put a Team USA together, they put a Canadian team, Finland and
right?
Sweden.
Okay.
All right.
And why those four countries? That's the four.
I think
those countries represented by hockey.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the most players.
Gotcha. And that's what I figured it was.
Yeah. Well, outside of Russia, but
Russia,
Russia
can't do Russia
until next year.
Mother Russia.
And so they did this tournament, and it's been phenomenal. Like, I mean, they've been getting ratings, and as good as hockey can do.
Yeah.
And everybody's loved it. The play has been really intense. Tonight was the championship. Canada beat the USA 3-2 in overtime. Mm-hmm. But they've been getting really good reviews for it. So what if the NBA did something like that?
Yeah. Well, this sidebar, have you been noticing a bunch of Ontario commercials on TV?
I have.
Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just me. I was
no. They're
Canada like, y'all come on if you want.
That's called PR to keep the American people in their good graces.
Yeah, it's like come on, y'all. Come on, Ontario. Come
by the way, we do a lot of business in your part of the world. So don't be listening to this guy trying to make us the 51st state. That's not happening.
So, but I hear you though. But I think I think that's USA versus the world, right? I think that's the game. That's the next phase because we got enough players to do it,
But
I'm saying
in a tournament style though.
But no,
more than
that's
just
what I'm saying.
the one All-Star game.
I don't think it needs to be a tournament. I feel like if they did a US, pretty much the guys would be on the Olympic team, and then you got the world, which should be, Jokic, Luka, Shea. Now that's a game because now we're playing for, that's the underlying thing that is kind of in the NBA. That's a point of contention. That's a point of tension, I should say, right? Yeah. It's all these European players who have won MVP.
Well, the world players would definitely take it seriously.
Right, but then that will force the USA team to play because they don't want to get smashed by the world. That's because they know that's all they're gonna hear on ESPN and everywhere. How now the world is caught up to us, and that's that. And that's all they say. There's no American player that's the face of the league, right? It's Wemby. Like and Edwards don't want to be the face. Ja can't stay on the court long enough to be the face. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys don't want to do it. So I feel like USA versus the world is the only option. I don't know why they don't want to do it, but because maybe they scared the world team might win. But I mean, okay, then I mean next year
the world team definitely.
I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see because you figure it's Bron. It'll just be Olympic team: Bron, Steph, KD. It'll be the guys who are Olympics. That's it. And maybe that's the way too to prep the Olympic squad, right? It's like you play for the Olympic team, right? So it can serve two purposes. You play for the Olympic team. You get selected as an all-star. Just maybe play FIBA rules, right? Do a little switch up for people. I think this is the fix. USA versus the world, FIBA rules.
And then they're going to show up next year and not want to play again.
I mean, but to your point, the world got to slap them around the first time, and they'll come back ready to ball. They'll be sleep the night before, and they're going out partying late.
The NBA All-Star game will go the way of the NFL Pro Bowl. Have you seen that?
Yeah, but here's the thing though. But that's the point I was making though, right? Like I like the shift of it being a flag football game. These guys having some good time. You get to see them. You know what I'm saying? It's a different feel, but it looks like they're having a good time out there. But it's truly.
Not 1 minute was spent on the Pro Bowl this year.
you're the sports connoisseur. You got a whole sports podcast.
Yes.
I mean, what All-Star game is fun to watch? Seriously. The NBA
baseball is still an actual game.
But they had to make some changes to that too. If people weren't in us, they had to.
The baseball thing. See, I think they overreacted with baseball. Remember, because one game ended in a tie.
Yeah.
And I think a team ran out of pitchers because they were trying to get everybody in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Team ran out of pitchers, and they were like, you know what? Let's just end it in a tie. And then people got upset.
Mm-hmm. It's
an all-star game. If it's a tie, it's a tie.
Yeah.
And I think now they got into that point, and they made it. They did they tied home field advantage for the World Series to the winner of the All-Star game, which was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think it's just back to they don't care, just play the game. And you still, baseball's baseball, pitchers are trying to strike out guys, and guys are trying to hit home runs.
But I feel like that's a little bit different. Because just hear me out. Because I feel like, not to say baseball, because I don't want smoke to get mad, but I know baseball is a little different, like football. I mean, you gotta play football 100%, or you're gonna get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm not saying that that the Pro Bowl should go back to the way it was. No, I don't. Yeah. The Pro Bowl, it got to a point where they were in pads, and it was basically two-hand touch, and it was like, you know what? Don't even play it. And they did the right thing. What they're doing now is right because kids can watch.
Yep.
It's cool. I'm just not gonna watch because that's me.
Yeah.
But I'll see you next week at the Super Bowl. But
and I think that, to me, that was the best change. Not making it after the season, like making it like during the dead week of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But the Pro Bowl, I think not too. And like the Super Bowl is legit the last thing of the NFL.
But I'm like, you know what? I when they did play, they were actually hitting.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it was the last game. The last game of the season was the Pro Bowl. You were in Hawaii because the thing was they were in Hawaii.
I like it when the last game is.
And we don't see no more football.
It's for it all. It's like that's like Jalen Hurts walking off in the sunset. I'm the best quarterback in the league right now. You understand? I think that they killed it with that, man. They killed it with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm still gonna watch the NBA All-Star game next year, but it should be USA versus the world, FIBA rules, And
we'll
I
see
think
what they
that might
do.
be it.
But I'm not doing. Hey, if it's anything close to what they did this year, I'm not watching. And I watched pretty much every minute of it this year.
I'm telling you,
because I forced myself to do it. And honestly, there was nothing on TV. I got another gripe about what's going on with television right now, which I have a problem with. We can talk about that later.
Okay. Well, we'll make a special episode for that, but you seem very passionate about that, man.
Very.
Cool. But yeah, the whole time I was watching, I was thinking like, I got to see this dude on Thursday. I was like,
I told you.
Doggone it, man.
I told you, it's done.
Yeah. So as I saw an article in USA Today, and I'm sure you saw it on Instagram, you got Pastor Jamal Brown, one of the pastors and faith leaders asking Black people to boycott Target. And from my understanding, Target has been losing a bunch of money since they rolled back their DEI. And one question came up about like, why is Target the main target? No pun intended. But it was like, they were the brand initially like touting all these Black brands, and they had all this gear. Shoot, the Chipmunks got shirts that say like Black Joy is revolutionary and all this gear we were buying because it was like, oh, Target rock with us. And then it came out that they don't. And I mean, we were talking about this at family night, just about like kind of making a family decision. We're gonna boycott Target because you got to show that this stuff means something to us, right? And I mean, y'all guys do make your own call. But I think we've decided just like, hey, we're gonna leave Target alone for a minute. We're gonna be part of it because this is a big deal. Like that's not nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Now we were like, all right, so we're gonna shop there. Where we gonna go? But you gotta figure that part out, though.
Yeah.
But you gotta, but I think that's the whole point of it. It's not supposed to be comfortable. It's not supposed to be a thing. And I think at this point we have to do something, is because this stuff is getting out of hand. You see, we're gonna talk a lot about more Black history because it is Black History Month, and you will hear a lot of people talking about Black History Month as they should. Well, outside of that silly Trump event that happened today, we talked about that before we hit record. Like, I'm gonna say, I said, who were the people that was there? And it's like,
I don't know where they came from, man. I don't know.
Who were these? I don't even want to cuss because people from my show don't listen. But it's like, who are y'all? And dude, because I'm looking at the people taking pictures, recording. Like, y'all recording this? And y'all posting this? Y'all wow.
Yeah.
Y'all wilding.
Now I'm assuming maybe it was, and more power to them. Maybe it's people that work in the federal government that
they didn't fire everybody. What you talking about?
Well, these are the ones that are still around.
They try to hold their job.
Hold on to this job, man. Let's go.
Listen,
I'll be there.
Y'all don't understand. Look at here now.
If that's the case, hey, I'm more power to it.
Hey, I'm with. Hey, keep your job. That's a Black thing. Keep your job, man. Don't mess up the job now. don't mess up your good government job, okay? Take the picture, bro. Ain't nobody care. You just there to say you there. Hey, man, you crazy.
They work a couple blocks now. They said let's go over here to the White House real quick.
Yeah, they was like, listen, don't nobody post no pictures. I would tell you, I can tell the story now. I went to this event. I was invited. I was a +1. Well, not a +1, but they had an extra ticket, I should say. And I'm in the event, and come to find out it was like it was a Republican event. And I looked at the person who invited me. It was like, my bad. I mean, they had an extra ticket for you. I was like, oh, come on, y'all taking pictures?
I've been there before, man.
I was like, bro, I got a whole podcast. You know what I'll be talking about? I can't be in here right now. So they're like, bro, I'm taking pictures. I'm taking pictures looking down. I'm taking pictures like I got cases. You know what I'm saying? It was wild.
I did that happened to me. I was working for a place, and they said, hey, we got to go to this event. You want to come with us? And it was out in DuPage County. And I was like, yeah, I'll go, whatever. So me and another brother went, and we got there, and it was like, oh, this is it. It was the Republican Party.
Oh, man.
Like, and I looked around, counted, man. It was like 5 Black faces in there out of like 500, and we all looking at each other like, why are we here? Yeah, I know why we're here. All right,
everybody need their good check. So you go ahead.
I've been there. So hey, you know what, man? Now I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't have been posting, having cameras up, posting stuff. No.
I would have found my phone. My phone would have been at my desk. Understand me? You not catching me. You ain't getting my location at this place. Nothing. Man. No, but because but this Target boycott, I feel like something has to be shown. Because I will say this, man. I do. when I saw that they were rolling back their DEI, I felt some type of way just because it was like, y'all really be promoting this. I used to work at sales for Black media companies, and Target was a very big advertiser, right? Because they always had these Black initiatives, like music initiatives. They had this commitment to, Black people and and other cultures, right? It's like it was like, okay, cool. And so people were supporting accordingly. You know what I'm saying? People Target ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the cheap option. So it's like people were going regularly, get to Target Circle rewards, all that stuff, man. And it's like, hey, yeah, excuse me, we're gonna roll these back, call it a day. And so I feel like, I'm up for it. I think it's necessary, just more to make the point that at some level we have to like this whole point of bus boycott, right? It was to show that you are going to have to respect the dollars that we spend. You ain't supposed to do anything to us, for us, around us, and then be like, still, hey, got new shirts for you. Nah, man, that's it can't work like that. And I'm down for a real boycott. You know how before you used to have no gas boycotts? They're like, don't get no gas on Tuesday. Yeah.
Right.
But people's going
but then you go on Wednesday.
Monday.
Yeah,
it's like they're like, all right, we cool. We got a free day, not to clear behind y'all. Like,
so they made all their money back.
Yeah, it's like they do about a week, not today. What was wrong with y'all?
Right.
So I think this is a better option. So if you find people love to say do your research. So go ahead, do your research. Go look into it. But I don't think there's much to research, right?
No, my question over that whole thing is what. I get, who's in office, but what are they afraid of with keeping those initiatives?
Well, here's the thing. Well, I think the thing is this. I think because as you see with Trump and President Musk, I'm gonna get in trouble for that one day.
Musk.
I'm gonna get in trouble for that one day. But it's they just have retaliatory efforts. So it's like they're such a wild card. You don't know what they're gonna do, right? You don't know what, because the way this stuff works, at some point you gotta. That's where I used to work for the government. And what you find is, no matter who you are, big or small, you're going to have to come through the government one day. Like you're going to have to walk through some municipal doors, municipality's office to do something, right?
Right.
So their thought is, we're going to have to deal with them. And, we this large corp, let's just deal with this guy, deal with the backlash, right? And then we'll be cool at the end of, it'll be like, people forgive us once we turn the lights back on and have a new Juneteenth shirt, of Target brand, and they'll be cool. And I think that's what most of it really is. And also, people just are making money off of it. Like I saw somewhere, I think Sarah posted on our social media page, how like Bezos, Zuck, and even Elon have become richer since
they made
the election, right? So it's like, at the end of the day, that's what they own. They're trying to get this money. So maybe to us it looks like fear, and some of it probably is fear, but it's also like, you know what? He gonna make these registers ring. We're gonna be up, and we'll take the backlash and just hope that we can hold on for 4 years. That's what I think. That's what I think. Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm with it, man. So.
Yep. So again, do your research. For those who need research, do your research. But that's what we're gonna do. So Ez, it's gonna do in the 90s, man, and this is Black History Month dedicated. So here we go for in the 90s.
I'm born into the 90s.
Okay, so Ez, I didn't tell you about it. Well, most shows I don't tell you what I'm talking about. I like your natural response. But so I thought about this. As we're going through the list, I got a whole list of in the 90s things. And one day it just hit me, because we did the movie draft for Denzel Washington. And this person actually deserves a draft as well. And he does not get credit for being a king of the movies in the 90s.
Okay.
You probably can think about, probably have a guess what I'm thinking about. And it's Wesley Snipes, man. It's like, when you think about Wesley Snipes in the 90s, he was cooking too, right? I mean, I didn't realize how many movies, he just was cranking movies out in the 90s, and he doesn't, okay, he had a tax evasion problem. He served 28 months. But it's like, I don't think we should overlook and underestimate his filmography just for the 90s. So I'm gonna run through the list. As now, Major League was 89, but but I just want to acknowledge it because again,
that started it.
And that started it all, right?
When Major League 2 came, he was out of the
Omar Epps was in there, right?
well, yeah, they had to go to Omar Epps because he priced out of the Willie Mays Hayes character.
Hey man,
They
because
could they
guess
couldn't
what?
afford him no more.
So 89, 1990, King of New York.
Okay.
Then Mo Better Blues again. We talked about that on the draft. I mean, Denzel,
Mhm.
of course, was that's how cold Denzel was. You forget Wesley Snipes was in this movie. Then
No, very good character. Very good character.
right, New Jack City. That's 1990, and it's like people still quote that. Martin did a big episode about that. You know what I'm saying? The following New Jack City. 91, Jungle. Memory is wrong. 91 Jungle Fever.
Jungle Fever. Yeah.
That was a really good movie, man. Shout out to Spike. That was a great movie. The Water Dance, I don't know what that is. But then White Men Can't Jump, 92.
The best basketball movie of all time.
Now he's cooking in 92. Passenger 57, 92. Boiling Point, and then Rising Sun. I don't remember Rising Sun. But then 93 Demolition Man. He was the bad guy to slide. So it's like, okay, man, you going on the ranks here. Demolition Man, Sugar Hill. Listen, my sister loved that movie because like it's a line at the end where she runs to the house. He's like, "That's all you got. It's all you need." She's like, "Dang, that's." I was like, "Whatever. It's a movie line. Calm down."
No, Sugar Hill. They were singing the Teddy P when they took old boy out. They got better let it go.
It was wild. It was wild, man. So 94 Drop Zone. Now he did that Tu Wong Fu movie. I feel like he was just that was a.
Wait, what was Drop Zone?
I don't remember that movie. He's a U.S. Marshal, Pete Nessip. I feel like I've seen that. I'm sure I've seen it randomly. Okay. 95 Money Train. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's a good movie.
That's a great movie, dude.
Yeah,
Money Train. Waiting to Exhale. It's like he had a cameo.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right.
He's laid in the bed with him, held at night.
His wife was dying of cancer. Yeah, I remember. Okay, all right.
The Fan in 96.
De Niro, good movie.
Yeah, that movie was wild.
Yeah,
that movie was wild. Murder at 1600 96. One Night Stand. I think that was the limited release movie. U.S. Marshals in 97.
Great movie. That was the sequel to The Fugitive.
And then he smacks us in the face with Blade in 98. Bruh.
The Blade movies were great.
The first one was, actually all three were great. When that first one came out, it was like, hold on, bruh.
Yeah.
I know we give credit to Batman, right? About like starting this superhero craze. But like when that Blade came out, it was like, hold on. But this is different, dog.
I didn't know that Blade was a Marvel character.
A lot of people didn't know.
When those movies came out, I didn't learn that until later. Some years.
And I'm wondering, I'm sure they put in association with Marvel at the beginning of the movie.
I'm sure they did, but you weren't looking. You weren't
looking for it. Like now it's because Marvel wasn't making movies like they
right.
now. Because it'd be so many credits and producers on the movie. You're just trying to get through to the show. So I'm with you. But yeah, when Blade came out, it was like he cannot be stopped. You know what I'm saying? And then Blade 2, Blade 3 is like, yo, he out of here. And I know he had some personal issues and maybe he wasn't easy to work with. But in the 90s, Wesley Snipes was the man. Like he really. And that's a heck of a run. If I'm gonna say so myself, you know what I'm saying? That's not nothing what he did in the 90s, man. For real.
Was a good decade for him.
Yeah, so so of these movies, what's your favorite?
Ooh, my favorite Wesley Snipes movie, Demolition Man, was really good.
Yeah,
Demolition Man was really good. That's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah, I think.
Hold on, I gotta look at I have to actually look at the list.
So you guys can probably guess. Blade was like, yup, I'm in. It's like that. Even in the 90s, that was just a beautifully done movie. It's like, yo, they cooking in this one. But I gotta say, I think Passenger 57 was just like, because that's one of the movies just like, it was all on the plane. So it's like, the whole movie is here. He really had to, and I was looking at his Wikipedia, like he is like really a martial artist. Like he knows a lot of different disciplines,
absolutely,
man. Yeah. Like it's pretty nuts. But I'm telling you, Money Train, because Am I getting mixed up? Money Train had Jennifer Lopez in it. That's the same movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez, Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they've
White
done some movies together.
Yeah.
No, you know what? That's what it is. I'm sorry. It's White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah, that's a great movie. That's a great movie.
Yeah,
that's a great movie. Like it really is a great movie, man. You say the best basketball movie ever?
I think it's the best basketball movie ever.
Even Above the Rim, better than Above the Rim.
Yes, Above the Rim, because you know why Above the Rim. Because, by the way, I watched Above the Rim the other day.
Yeah.
And I started dying laughing when number 52 passed the ball, had a baseball pass down court to himself for the dunk. And I was like, oh man. For that reason alone, White Men Can't Jump.
But also too, Above the Rim, why you got a basketball hoop on the roof of a building? You know what I'm saying? Just like
there's some places that they do have those.
Still why? I mean,
well, this was back in the 70s. That was back in the 70s when that happened.
Still why? You see what I'm saying? I'm still going. Still answering my question. You just giving me more things around it. Still why? My man hit the back world. What you think was gonna happen?
Yeah, not smart.
Come on, man.
Not the smartest thing.
Ridiculous, man.
But yeah. White Men Can't Jump is my favorite Wesley Snipes movie.
Yeah, see, I mean, Mo Better Blues to me is a Denzel Washington movie, so I can't say that. But I think for me, it's Blade and Passenger 57 because I felt like, you usually saw Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger like in roles like this, just full action, and this hit his dark-skinned brother cooking this movie. You know what I mean? And it's like this is a beautiful, beautiful movie. It was great. So shout out to Wesley Snipes in the 90s this week. I'm sure you guys are going to start looking up. Shout out to my man PT if you're listening. You guys will look up some Wesley Snipes movies tonight and watch them. I might watch. Did you watch the reboot of White Man Can't Jump? I didn't finish it.
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
I think I started it and I wasn't into it.
Yeah, I might have to watch that again, man. White Man Can't Jump. That was a great movie. So shout out to Wesley Snipes. Wishing you all the best, sir. So as before we get out of here, this is Black History Month. And, we've been talking about all the, attacks, it feels like, on not just Black history, all people, minority, but, the Black history. And it's like the first one up. And it's like we're the first one to get, attacked and off the chopping block, right? And so, we talked about family night. And my niece was saying, we were watching my church service on Wednesday. I play it for my parents love my pastor. They love to watch him preach. Say, sometimes I'd be a little jealous. Like, hey, man, he cool. I mean, I'm your son, but it's all a joke. Kind of a joke. But but my niece was talking. They sing Lift Every Voice and Sing Every Week. And my niece was just like saying how, the older she gets, the more she appreciates the song. Just how beautiful it is and the words it is when you really think about it's like the struggles that people had to go through. And she made a point about how, she is her ancestors' wildest dreams. You see shirts that say that, and she was talking about it, and she was talking about some passion. My father was crying, my mother was like, "Why y'all doing all this crying in here?" Right? That's my mother's response. But I appreciate my niece for bringing it up because you think about Black history as this large thing, right? Like you had to invent something. Or you're the first to do something, and that is still Black history. But I think we forget that we are Black history as well. And I just want to share this with you guys. Like, I know I talk about my family a lot, like with my parents, and my dad shared some stuff. My grandfather, Jim Griggs, he's probably the first person we can start with. I know my great grandmother I didn't know, but like when you think about the Griggs family in Tennessee, that's who you start with. My granddad, Jim Griggs. He couldn't read, but he was a resourceful man, took care of his family, like his name ring out in Tennessee. One time we went to Tennessee, we were driving, and my dad drove a little fast. Law 12 pulled us over. Whoop! And it was like, so like, you listen, you're not from here, blah, blah, blah. Give me your ID. Oh, Greg, sorry about that. All right, listen, Marshall, just be careful, get up out of there. We were like, are we Obamas? What's happening out here? You know what I mean? But all that to say is, my grandfather made a legacy in the life of his family, and even my mother's people, right? It's like they out of Mississippi, all 13 kids, and both my parents were sharecroppers. I know you hear about that, it's like it happened a long, long time ago. I'm literally one generation from sharecropping. Like my parents literally picked cotton. That's why I don't really play with jokes about like picking cotton on people. You can't joke around me like that. So my folks did that. When my father was picking cotton at 12, my mother, she's weighing and picking cotton at 12 as well, right? And I mean, it's hundreds of pounds of cotton. My dad's 12 years old picking 200 or 300 pounds of cotton on his back, living in racism. And they were able, and they got a year of college between them, but they were able to put 3 kids through school, right? 2 of us with advanced degrees. And then they're also able to see like their great grandchildren, right? So it's like my family, we have our own level of Black history. And I'm sure if what my grandfather, with him not being able to read, but he was just trying to protect his family and envision seeing us, right? Like me on a podcast, you know what I'm saying? And my children, singing in things and being in things. And, my nieces, shout out to the squirrels, those girls, them doing, it's like that to them is their why they never imagined this to happen, and they can live in this land, and have these opportunities, because that wasn't afforded to them. And they would have to run and hide. And my mother would always say she hated that when her mom would see a young white girl, she would say yes ma'am to her. On the side street, her mother would be like, but she my age. And she said she got popped in the mouth because she would ask, but it's like that was a thing, to now where we are, that we can disagree with the country and not fear any like significant backlash, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like they not coming to look for you like they were before, And so I think, I just want to remind people that Black history is all around us, and it just doesn't stop, right? Black history truly is all year. And we got into the conversation about how can you celebrate Black history all year round? And I don't know, those things I'm gonna start doing, and just like even for Black History Month at work, my church, again, shout out to Progressive, we have these Black history hoodies, and it says we come this far by faith. It's a black hoodie with the American flag in red, green, and black. And so I wore it to work. Now I made sure I had like some nice slacks, some nice shoes on, and a button up, just because I had to squabble up with somebody, be like, "You're dressed inappropriately." Actually, I'm not, sir. I'm dressed appropriately for work. And I could see people just like looking at me, but trying to like look at my shirt and not look at, what I'm saying? I could tell they were reading it and what it said. So somebody just asked me. I said, it's from my church. We have a Black History shirt, blah, blah, blah. They said, oh my God, it's so great. And so the next week, Jasmine, my niece, bought me a shirt. It's about Chadwick Boseman. It had all the characters he portrayed. So it was like Thurgood Marshall, James Brown, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman. So same thing, button up with it, wore it over. I'm at work just talking regular, like, yes, we got to get these impressions here. Got to make sure the ass, and everybody's looking at my shirt like, what is he wearing every week? And it hit me like, I should be more intentional about this, like what I'm wearing around to represent my Blackness, right? Because, so often, sometimes we try to blend in because it's easier that way, but standing out might be the better option, right? And there are a lot, and not to say, you got to do it my way. Maybe there's like Black owned brands you wear, Black theme, how people got shirts that say Black is dope, or, I am my ancestors' wildest dream. Like, maybe there's a day of the week that you just rock this stuff. I know there's when we went to Dee's thing, the anniversary in Jamaica, we had to wear that kind of dress for the night. I went to Dianu and got a nice little like shirt from there. And they have African prints, excuse me. But just kind of making that, like that's how I'm representing my culture, who I am. So that's something I'm thinking of. I'm just going to do. Being intentional about buying Black skin care products or hair products, right? I think most people do that now, but we talked about this whole Target thing. You should go to Target and get it. But like I made a point to buy from Bevel. Shout out to Nas, right? I buy Bevel beard stuff.
Shout out Khalees.
Shout out to Khalees. Woo! If you know IYK, YK. Okay, see, that's why algorithms messed up. See, listen, as I'm making this nice speech, you got me.
I know.
Put it back in, brother. But yeah, making a point to really buy Black-owned skincare products, hair care products. Again, I use Bevel. And I mean, like that's all the products I have. And Shea Moisture, because it's like, I want to make a point to support these companies and these brands. Talk about the clothes. Again, supporting Black-owned businesses. Like I was thinking about like if I eat out, phrasing, during the week, it's like, I usually just go to any random store. It's just whatever's near me. But I'm like, I'm sure there's a Black-owned restaurant in my neighborhood that I can stop by once a week, you know what I'm saying? Like once a week, and to support and, let them work out the kinks or whatever. But it's like, I'm being intentional about coming here. Yeah. And shout out to Dr. Williams buying books about Black people, Black authors, right? Nothing's wrong with that, right? Being mindful of that as you see it, or even, a step further, like Black podcasts, right? What are we listening to? And again, this is not to say you shouldn't enjoy all the other things that you are enjoying, but being intentional about also supporting things that support you and your culture. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Actually, not try. That's what I'm going to do as I celebrate Black history, because you are, I am Black history, and we are that all day long. So thank you for checking out the Super Duper Pod. We do not take your listens lightly. Make sure you follow us on all socials, SUPA, DUPA, POD. What up, Sarah? And online at hp53productions.com. I miss anything?
No, I think you covered it all.
My man. So make sure you take care of yourselves and each other and watch your Wesley Snipes movie. Hey, mama, this is the Supa Dupa Podcast.
That's champagne, real pain, champagne from you and I. Wait, you and I? Now that's champagne if you was I. Would you be off on this campaign? Is it suicide? If you know that bringing hope here is how careers die. Or do the K stand for kamikaze? For Jay Silent, it's everywhere, you can feel them probably. Surely, lately, I've been up late with demons in my basement trying to get me to hate this. Life thinking I should be further and then I choke up. As soon as I got silent, then the truth spoke up. This said, how you know you ain't perfect? Let that soak up and soak in. You know how you know that you blessed? I woke